Hello, this is Kristine Price, and I'm going to read Getting to Know the World's Greatest Artist, Grandma Moses, written and illustrated by Mike Venezia. Grandma Moses is one of my favorite artists, and the cartoons in this they're done by Mike Venezia. She sure knows her farms. I'm moved. Me too. And then there's a picture of Grandma Moses in the corner. Anna Mary Grandma Moses was born in 1860 on a farm in Greenwich, New York. Grandma Moses didn't start to paint seriously until she was almost 70 years old. At first, no one paid much attention to her pictures, but by the time she died at the age of 101, Grandma Moses had become one of America's most famous and best-loved artists. This is a picture of Grandma Moses at work. Grandma Moses never thought her pictures were anything special. She started to paint for fun and to help pass the time. When she was 92 years old, a book about her life was published. Grandma Moses hardly mentioned her artwork in the book. Instead, she told about the adventures she had growing up on her farm. Many of Grandma Moses' paintings are scenes of her favorite memories. This one is apple butter making. And this one is Joyride. Looks like they're riding on a sled pulled by horses. Just about all of Grandma Moses' paintings are landscapes. They show the beautiful rolling mountains, towns, and farms where she lived. Unlike most landscapes painters, though, Grandma Moses included people doing all kinds of interesting things, like making tasty apple butter, or candles, or celebrating a favorite holiday or season of the year. This one is called For This Is the Fall of the Year. Lots of fall farm activities going on there. The type of artwork Grandma Moses created is called folk art. Folk art is made by artists who haven't had art classes or any special art training. Folk art artists usually learn to draw, paint, or make sculptures all on their own. Sometimes Grandma Moses learned by copying from old prints or calendars or greeting cards. This picture is called Checkered House. Can you tell why? Grandma Moses and other folk artists, like Edward Hicks, who painted this one, The Peaceable Kingdom, and Morris Hirschfeld, who painted this one called Tiger, have created some of the most original and interesting works of art ever. In the 1860s, when Anna Mary Robertson was growing up, kids didn't have televisions, compact disc players, video games, movies, or shopping malls. There were still plenty of fun things to do, though. Anna Mary and her brothers used their imaginations to make up adventure games. They played in the forests and hills near their home. They went ice skating on the many ponds surrounding their family farm. They spent hours sledding down snowy hills using shovels, wooden wash tubs, and anything else that would work as a sled. Grandma Moses said these were the happiest times of her life. I have gone sledding on a feed scoop before, but I don't think anybody's ever really skated on a horse. I can't wait for springtime. Anna Mary's father sometimes brought home sheets of paper for his children to draw on. Anna Mary loved drawing. Since paint and paintbrushes were too expensive for her family to buy, Anna colored her drawings with berry juice. She dabbed the color on with little sticks or twigs. Anna Mary said her brothers always made fun of her because she called her finished pictures lambscapes. Ha ha, she means landscapes. Ha ha ha. No, I don't. I mean lambscapes. Well, in this cartoon, there's lots of lambs. When Anna Mary was 12 years old, she got a job as a housekeeper. Anna helped out families in her area. It was hard work, but she learned a lot about running a home and always found friendly, kind people to work for. When she was 26 years old, she met a farm worker named Thomas Moses. Thomas and Anna really liked each other. They fell in love and got married about a year later. Thomas and Anna Mary Moses had a long, happy life together. They had lots of children and were very successful farmers. This painting is called Wash Day. Can you see how the clothesline is all full, but they still had lots of laundry to dry? They would lay it out on the clean grass. If grass was dirty from a dusty wind, they wouldn't put it out there. One reason Grandma Moses didn't start painting until she was much older was that as a young woman, she just didn't have the time. Aside from doing all her farm duties and raising a family, Anna Mary started making butter for a local grocery store. Then, a few years later, she decided to make potato chips. Anna Mary's butter and potato chips tasted better than anyone else's. Before she knew it, she was busier than ever making and shipping her products to grocery stores and a nearby resort. He says, "What's for dinner?" And she says, "Oops, I'm running a little behind. How about buttered potato chips again?" I would like to try some of her potato chips. When Grandma Moses was 67 years old, her husband Thomas died. Grandma Moses missed him very much. Soon after this happened, she started doing artwork to help pass the time. At first, she embroidered or stitched scenes out of yarn. She called these works her worsted pictures. Grandma Moses usually made them as gifts for her friends and relatives. This one is called Mount Nebo on the Hill. And if I get really close, you can see that those are stitches of string and maybe some yarn. She continued doing worsted pictures until the knitting and stitching became painful for her fingers. That was when Grandma Moses added painting to her art activities. This one is called The Old Hoosick Bridge, 1818. And here again, let's get really close so that we can see the stitching. It almost looks like a painting, doesn't it? Before Grandma Moses could start painting, though, she had to find art supplies. Finding materials for her worsted pictures had never been a problem. Painting supplies, however, were still very expensive and hard to find in rural farm areas. The news is she's going to start painting soon. Those are the lambs again. Good. In my opinion, yarn should be used for sweaters, not artwork. And there she is making pictures. At first, Grandma Moses used leftover house paint and brushes. She used matchsticks and dabs and pins to dab on tiny dots of color. Grandma Moses painted on any surface she could find, including glass window panes, sheet metal, and old canvas cloth used to cover farm equipment. This one is called May, Making Soup, Washing Sheep. Looks like they've got the sheep in the pond and they're washing them. Grandma Moses displayed her artwork at county fairs alongside her canned fruit and jam. One time she won a prize for her jam, but no one even noticed her paintings. Grandma Moses also displayed her paintings in the window of a local drugstore. This one is called Country Fair. You can see all the things going on there that you might see at a country fair. And here's a close-up of it. Right here. The guy with all the balloons and the horse and buggy. One day, a man traveling through town stopped by the drugstore. He noticed Grandma Moses' paintings and couldn't believe his eyes. He thought they were wonderful. This one is called Bringing in the Maple Sugar. Louis Calder was an engineer from New York City. He loved collecting American folk art. Louis bought all the paintings in the drugstore window right away. Then he drove to Grandma Moses' house to see if he could buy more of her paintings. Grandma Moses wasn't home at the time, but her daughter-in-law told Mr. Calder she thought Grandma Moses had 10 more paintings. When Grandma Moses got home, she was excited to hear the good news, but discovered she only had 9 paintings. Grandma Moses decided to cut one in half to make 10 paintings, so Mr. Calder wouldn't be disappointed when he came back the next day. "Hey, Grandma, some guy wants to buy 10 of your paintings. Coming right up." And this one is called Home in Winter. Louis Calder took all of Grandma Moses' paintings back to New York City. He worked as hard as he could to get people interested in displaying and selling them. Unfortunately, it took a long time to get anyone's attention. This one right here is called Spring in Town by Grant Wood. He's a regionalist. And the one down below is called Chop Suey by Edward Hopper. And his paintings were usually in the city, which is kind of a region. Art dealers in New York didn't really have a problem with Grandma Moses' warm, friendly paintings. Scenes about American life, like those done by such artists as Grant Wood and Edward Hopper and Charles Sheeler, were pretty popular at the time. It seems there was something else that was a problem for the art dealers. Okay, this one is called River Rouge Plant by Charles Sheeler. Here's the problem. Louis Calder found that many art dealers didn't want to take a chance on someone as old as Grandma Moses. They were afraid an artist who was almost 80 years old might become ill and unable to paint any longer. Some dealers felt Grandma Moses might even die soon. Louis Calder never gave up and finally found an art dealer who loved Grandma Moses' paintings. This dealer didn't care how old she was either. Otto Kahler owned the Galerie Saint-Étienne in New York. He agreed to give Grandma Moses a one-woman show. That means that she was the only person to have her art on display. And this is one of my favorites by Grandma Moses. It's called The Quilting Bee. Grandma Moses' exhibition helped bring attention to her paintings. Before the show ended, Gimbel's, a big department store in New York, asked to use Grandma Moses' paintings for their Thanksgiving festival. Over the next few years, galleries and museums held Grandma Moses exhibitions too. In 1946, a big greeting card company asked to use some of Grandma Moses' pictures for their collection. Now more people than ever became familiar with her paintings. And this one is called Catching the Thanksgiving Turkey. Oh, there it is. They're trying to catch him. People liked Grandma Moses as much as they liked her paintings. She was friendly and fun to talk to. She never let being famous change her life. She always seemed surprised by the amount of money she made from her artwork. By the time Grandma Moses died in 1961, people all over the world knew about her artwork. Grandma Moses' paintings reminded everyone of simpler, happier times. The works of art in this book came from the Galerie Saint-Étienne in New York, the Museum of Art, Rhode Island School of Design, Providence, the Museum of Modern Art in New York, Sheldon Swope Art Museum in Terre Haute, Whitney Museum of American Art in New York. And that is why Grandma Moses is one of the world's greatest artists.